Ilia, why do you think that you're the person that can knock out Max? He's never been knocked out in his career.
Because he never faced Ilia Topuria. He never faced El Matador. He never faced someone like me. Never. We had one opponent in common. What he couldn't do in 75 minutes, I did in 7. He has 7 professional defeats, I have 0. He's the challenger, I'm the champion. That's why I know that I'm gonna knock him out.
On October 26, the young and undefeated Matador returns to the UFC cage to dethrone the second king of the featherweight division, Max Holloway, promising to become the first man to put the Hawaiians' lights out in brutal fashion.
I will knock him out in the first round. There's no doubts about that. It's going to be even much easier than with Volkanovski, because I consider that Volkanovski was like a way difficult matchup for me, and he proved it, right? He beat a guy 3 times. So
the 27-year-old fighter hasn't lost a single fight in his career. And after his latest performance, Topuria's words carry more weight. In today's video, we'll explain why Ilia Topuria is destined to stop Max Holloway becoming the first man ever to dethrone both featherweight kings. Do you know the definition of aura? I'll show you.
who doesn't want to fight me right now? Who not? I didn't become a UFC World Champion yet. I have 3 more days to do it. They are already calling me out. Everyone. Everyone. Why?
After Ilia turned Josh Emmett's face into pulp by beating the living shit out of him for 25 minutes, the Matador challenged the Great with a serious statement. He's ready to dethrone the undefeated 145 king, becoming a new big thing.
Obviously, you consider yourself to be the better fighter than Alex, but in what area do you think you'll show how much better you are than him?
Everywhere. I'm better than him everywhere.
Ahead of their fight, many analysts didn't believe in the Spaniard's success due to his opposition, but Topuria didn't care. He continued to insist on his own.
How do you see this fight playing out on Saturday? How do you win the fight?
I see myself knock him out in the first round.
In a build-up to their fight, Ilia made a serious trash talk campaign, destroying everyone at 145.
Yo no soy ni Korean Zombie, no soy el trapo ni de Jair, no soy ni el paquete de Brian Ortega, no soy ni la nariz torcida de Max Holloway, soy Ilia Topuria y lo voy a machacar en el primer asalto de una forma espectacular, y al que le quepa la mínima duda que se joda.
Topuria's self-confidence even offended Volk himself. Alex was confident he would school Ilia in their fight.
This guy's going to be just talking his and I love that. I'm like, yeah, talk your now. I can have a bit of fun with it and punch you in the face for it. You know what I mean? And feel good punching your head through the canvas. Because again, like, I'm gonna squash that bloke, so it doesn't matter.
The Matador put everything on the line: his reputation, image, and streak. The rest is history.
You know, I think a lot of people could probably touch on some of the things, but yeah, put it this way: people don't look like that when I'm in front of them.
You mentioned there about the people talking trash. I'm assuming you weren't that impressed with his prediction that he would beat you in the first round, should you mean?
Yeah, it's dreaming.
An undefeated prospect is a new generation fighter who can do it all. He's submitted grapplers and knocked out strikers, and this time he predicts an early knockout against someone who wasn't even officially dropped. The Matador has Napoleonic plans. He wants to beat Islam, bring the UFC to Madrid, and repeat Conor's boxing journey. Is it possible?
Everything is possible in your life when you believe.
No.
The Hawaiian himself said more than once that Ilia's hunger is dangerous. Unlike Conor, who here and now only writes posts, Ilia is seriously preparing his ass to conquer new heights. After defeating Volk, many roads have opened up for the bearded knockout artist, and as with young Conor, he has no limits. Topuria has everything to become a main star in the world of fighting. He's spectacular, brutal, and ruthless. Unlike prime Conor, who was incomparable on the mic, but questionable in terms of his takedown defense, Ilia has no obvious weaknesses except for being cringy sometimes.
Bro, I was so bored watching that fight. The only thing excited about that fight was the last 10 seconds, to be honest. But I didn't see any technique in that fight. I didn't see any strategy. I didn't see any fucking thing. I just saw a bar fight.
Is he fucking awesome?
I have a question for you guys. Why is everyone only talking about Topuria's punching power and combos when this guy's arguably the most explosive fighter in the world? Just remember the finish sequence in his last title fight. As soon as he put Alex over the fence, he exploded with a 5-6 punch combo. Ideally timed Volk's lazy jab and sent him to the place where time doesn't exist with a career-ending overhand. Pure skill. Ilia gets hit much, but as soon as he puts you where he needs you, you're dead. In a recent fight, Holloway was in danger several times. Over the fence,
It is what it is, brother.
the Matador's not afraid of exchanges and takedowns. That's why Max has to stay away from the fence in order not to be slept. The Blessed One has the best takedown defense at 145, but Alex the Great and T-City showed the world Max can be taken down. It's much more difficult to keep him on the canvas, and even more so to finish, but his ground game hasn't been tested yet by Topuria. This time, we have a specialist not only in grappling or takedowns, but a real killer, who's a basic Greco-Roman with a deadly ground and pound and sharp ground game. The specificity of Greco-Roman wrestling lies not only in technique, but also in the superhuman strength of the representatives of this style, and Ilia Topuria's that guy. The Matador can do more than just send people to the Shadow Realm. He can also choke them to death, and 6 different submission victories proves my words. Max was taken down by Poirier and Volk, and he was also slept by Yair on the ground. It's hard to wrestle with a fresh Holloway, but if Ilia overcomes his ego and wants to win by any means, his base can always become a decisive factor, especially from the second or third round. It doesn't matter if you like Topuria or not, he's a savage, and he's one of the deadliest UFC finishers. No matter how much of a master of striking Max is, damage accumulates, and even the most iron head has its expiration date. Max Holloway is truly a unique fighter. As we said earlier, he's landed more significant strikes than anyone in history, but he's also taken just as many. Even in the last fight with the highlight, where it was a one-sided beating, Max took some damage and was on the canvas for the first time ever. If this happens against Topuria, the Matador will never let him go. The newly crowned champion is also the youngest fighter in the top, which could also play into his hands. Of course, every young fighter has 2 paths: to become the next Cody Garbrandt or to try to copy Conor. In the case of the Matador, the first path's no longer a possibility. Ilia Topuria is a big favorite, and it's no coincidence. He's 5 years younger, has crazy knockout power, and a deadly ground game. But can he impose his pace on one of the sport's mastodons? We'll find out very soon.